All right, guys, doing a video here, power rankings, set week 7 edition. I'm going to talk about the 15 teams that I think are playing the best right now. And a lot of haters in my comments for week 6. And I was right. I was right. You guys said Lions were number 1. I said, no way, Jose, they're number 1. No chance in hell. Their offense doesn't look good. They scored 52 points versus the Bears. They beat the shit out of the Cincinnati Bengals. Who cares? And we saw what happened tonight. We saw that they're not the number 1 team in the NFL or not even the number 2 team in the NFL. We saw them get absolutely brutalized. We saw it. We saw it. We saw it. Right? And I'm going to do a week 7 edition of my power rankings and teams that didn't make the cut. The Chargers, the Panthers are playing well with Dave Canales, great coach. Chargers, Falcons, Bears. So there's teams that didn't make the cut for the top 15. But at number 15, we have the Jaguars. They're only in here because of their record, right? They're 4-2. Only in here because their record. They beat the Chiefs. I don't know how the Chiefs gave away that game. There's no way the Jaguars won that game more than the Chiefs lost that game. The Chiefs were by far the better team, outgained them yardage-wise. Were just better. 99-yard pick six for Devin Lloyd. Game-winning touchdown, game-winning drive by Trevor Lawrence. Closed his eyes, prayed to the Lord, threw a ball to Brian Thomas that ended up being completed. Good job by Trevor Lawrence, but he got absolutely decimated today by the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks didn't even play well. Sam Darnold didn't even play well and still destroyed him. Imagine if MVP Sam Darnold showed up. Maybe that game is 35-6, 35-13, whatever it was going to look bad for the Jaguars. The Jaguars didn't play against a good secondary today. Everybody was out. Tariq Woolen was out. Love was out. Witherspoon was out for the Seattle Seahawks, and they still got their ass beat. They're not a good team. You guys want to tell me how good the Jaguars are? They're not a good team. Trevor Lawrence, we need to look at Trevor Lawrence. We need to maybe pull up his files to see if this guy is a franchise quarterback. What do you want to do with your franchise, Khan, the owner for the Jaguars? What do you want to do? Do you want to have a guy that's not going to win you a Super Bowl? We have to see what Trevor Lawrence is. Is he an overrated prospect? Was he worth all that money? Is he a number 1 pick? Is he that good? He's went to one playoffs game where they were down 27-0 or 24-0 versus the Chargers, and they somehow pulled that out of their ass. And that's the only game they've been in the playoffs besides advancing to the next round. That was the only playoff run. And we need to look at the Jaguars. The Jaguars have an easy schedule. They're going to pile up wins because they played the Titans twice. They play a lot of shitty teams, right? They play the Texans. They're going to pile up the wins. They are pretenders. They're not a real team. They're closer to no chance than winning a Super Bowl. I promise you that. They're not a good team. Their defense doesn't look good. Trayvon Walker's balling out. He's balling out. Former number 1 pick. And Josh Allen's a good player too. Travis Hunter, what are we doing with him? Are we playing him on defense or offense? Because clearly he's playing decently well in both, but he's not supposed to be decently well at both. He's supposed to be great because he's a number 2 pick. I don't want a guy that's playing decent at number 2 as my number 2 pick. I don't want a decent player. I want a great player. And this guy's not Shohei Ohtani, right? Where you can be a good pitcher and a great hitter. You need to be great at one thing, not average at both things, right? That's the Jaguars, right? I talked too much about the 15th best team. Too much. 14, San Fran 49ers, just decimated by injuries. You're going to say, what? Mac Jones sucks. 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy, bring him back. We need him. Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy. Mac Jones went with Kendrick Bourne today and Tonjes and Valdez-Scantling. This is his team he had today. He also obviously has Christian McCaffrey, but no George Kittle, no Ayuk, no Pearsall. And I know he threw 2 picks. One of them wasn't his fault. Kendrick Bourne stopped his route. He thought Kendrick Bourne was still going. Okay, it was a miscommunication. The other one, he got fooled. Yes, he got fooled on that one on 4th and 6. But again, Kyle Shanahan, why are you even going for it? Kick the field goal. You're down by 8 points with 6 minutes left. Kick the field goal. You will make it a 5-point game. You still have a chance. You know what happens if you score and get the 2-point conversion and it's 27-27? You know what's going to happen? You're going to have to stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers again. You're going to have to stop them from getting a field goal to win the game. And what's the difference if it being 22-27 and stopping them or 27-27 and stopping them? There's nothing. I'd rather have 22-27 to stop them because at least I know they're going to be wasting a down to run the ball. Right? You can get a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 scenario instead of 1st and 10 Baker Mayfield just throwing all over the place and freaking breaking 2 tackles on 3rd and 14 and getting it, right? And Baker Mayfield didn't even play that great either today, and they still balled out. That's how good Baker Mayfield is. So again, San Fran decimated by injuries. Fred Warner's out. Their team is in shambles. They're doing what they can. Kyle Shanahan, great play caller, just really bad game manager. He needs to see a psychiatrist about this, or a psychologist, or a therapist, psychologist. Yeah, he needs to see one of those, right? 13, Pittsburgh Steelers. Who have the Steelers beat? I know what you're going to say. Hey, they're 4-1. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Patriots. That's a great win. The Patriots gave them that game, right? The Patriots gave them that game. Five fumbles. You cannot win a game with 5 fumbles, and that game was close, and it was embarrassingly close. It was 21-14. How are you going to be happy with a win like that, right? So the Pittsburgh Steelers are 13. They beat the Browns today. The Browns had a lot of empty yards. They were Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 52 times, but whatever. Pittsburgh Steelers are doing what they're supposed to do, right? They're supposed to beat bad teams. They have a rough slate coming up, right? I think they play the Chargers. Who else do they play? I think the Packers. Let me check who they play. They play the Packers, the Colts, and the Chargers. All 3 of those teams, Chargers on the road, right? Chargers at SoFi Stadium. So we're going to see what Pittsburgh is actually made of, what the steel curtain is made of, right? And their defense doesn't look great. I'll tell you that right now, but they're 4-1. Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf threw it for a touchdown today. They had a touchdown today. It was beautiful to see. So I have to put them at 13. I can't put them any higher because I think these teams are better than them, right? At 12, we have the LA Rams. LA Rams went down. I know what you're going to say. They beat the shit out of the Ravens, but the Ravens are a bad team. Cooper Rush is their quarterback. No Lamar Jackson. Their team is built around Lamar Jackson. You have to understand. They built that team around him. So any quarterback you get is not going to be helpful in that scenario, right? You can't just plug and play a quarterback in the Ravens offense. It's that team is built for Lamar Jackson, right? Let's get all these scuttery like receivers like Zay Flowers on the team. Let's get Tylan Wallace. Let's get Bateman. Thirsty. Let's get Bateman. Let's get all these guys that are fast and vertical threats to push everybody up, and Lamar Jackson can scramble, and it'll create open lanes for Derrick Henry. This offense is built around Lamar Jackson, and with Cooper Rush at the helm, it doesn't help, and definitely not with Tyler Huntley, whatever they were doing. But the Rams didn't look good. Puka Nacua got hurt his ankle. Puka Nacua came back in the game, though, played decent. Matthew Stafford didn't play his best. I could say he could play better, but he didn't. Devontae Adams dropped a couple of balls. I mean, they also were getting the ball moved on them too. The defensive coordinator Chris Shula, I think his name is, for the LA Rams. We need a long look at him. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. He's about to get exposed soon. I guarantee you that his defense is about to give up 30 soon, right? That's just a hardcore fact about it. Who do they play? Who does this team play? Let's see who they play. I'll predict you a 30 ball right here by the LA Rams. They are playing the Jaguars in London or something. Early game. Yeah, whatever. End of the segment. Talking too much about the Rams. Next, the Patriots. Patriots 11. They could be higher, but I think these next 10 teams are better than them. Mike Vrabel's doing an excellent job, even though he had a really bad coaching debacle in the game 1 versus the Raiders. Their team looks good. Drake May is looking good. Drake May, I'm not kidding you, looks better than Trevor Lawrence. Lie to me if he's not. Yeah, I think he's looking better than Trevor Lawrence. Drake May has Stephon Diggs is playing well, back from injury. This team they're winning games. They beat the Bills. I think the Bills were a little overrated, obviously, but they beat the Bills. I think that the Patriots they're a good team. They can make some noise in the wild card round, right? I don't know if they're going to win a championship, but they're a potential playoff team. Obviously, they have a good team around them. They're heavily rely on the run with Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson, and I think Gibson is hurt, right? But they rely on the run a lot. And they play the Titans, the Browns, and then the Falcons. That's 3 straight wins that they should get. If they don't get 3 straight wins there, then they have no chance of being a contender in any Super Bowl form this year, right? That's going to be 3 straight wins if you're a good team. And that's just the fair truth, right? So we're going to put 11 New England Patriots, 10 Washington Commanders. They haven't played yet, but I'm assuming that game's going to be close versus the Bears just because the Bears are looking for revenge. This game means a lot to them, more than what it means to the Commanders, because the Bears, they lost in the Hail Mary last year. So I'm expecting the Bears to come out and play hard and play well. So the Commanders, they're a good team. Again, another team that's built around a running mobile quarterback like Jaden Daniels. So they beat the Chargers. Mariota played for 2 games. They lost to the Falcons, right? They beat the Raiders, beat the Giants. They're a good home team. So that game's going to be interesting. But I have them at 10 right now because they haven't played. I can't really move them any higher or lower. But I think 10 is a perfect spot for them. 9, Denver Broncos. They did not look good in London today. They played against the Jets, and it was an embarrassing game. It was embarrassing that's an NFL game. We call that an NFL game, right? That was bad. That was bad. I mean, I don't know what I was watching. Justin Fields is a moron, worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. One of, I mean, lowest IQ. I told you, like dumb, like mental illness dumb. You know, that's just what he is. Then Denver Broncos could have played better. They didn't look good either. You have to put them at 9 though. They have a respectable win against the Eagles. They should have beat the Chargers, but they didn't. Right? Barely beat the Titans. So we have to put in there, beat the Bengals convincingly. So we have to put them there. They're putting away bad teams. Should have beat the Colts. They're putting away bad teams. They're a good team. They're a really good team, actually. But they're number 9 right now because that win against the Jets wasn't good, right? Next is Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs are at 8. I know what you're going to say. They beat the Lions. They beat the crap out of the Lions. Yeah, the Lions are a little overrated right now, okay? But I think that the Lions' game plan when they're down is a problem. But let's talk about the Chiefs, right? Patrick Mahomes is balling out of control. They found their new offense. They found their new offense, and it's working. You have Juju Smith-Schuster and Travis Kelce on the shallow routes and intermediate routes, while you just have Xavier Worthy and Thornton and Marquise Brown playing fetch at 40 yards down the field, right? They're just freaking run. Go fetch. That's what they're doing, right? And you have these other 3 guys, intermediate, and if that's not working, Patrick Mahomes scrambles. I mean, the offense is, it's as simple as it gets, right? So I'm going to have to put Kansas City Chiefs at 8. They just beat the Lions, a great win, but they lost to the Jaguars and they beat themselves. They're really having struggling and goal-to-go scenarios at the goal line, if you haven't noticed. They haven't been doing well there. They scored this week against the Lions, right, with who was it? Pacheco or Kareem Hunt. They rushed for a touchdown. Xavier Worthy had a touchdown. But usually it wasn't looking like that in the beginning of the year, right? So that's number 8. Number 7, Detroit Lions. Again, Lions are overrated. They're an overrated team. Their defense is not that great. They have Aiden Hutchinson that's playing well. Their defense is better than last year, but again, their secondary's shot right now. They're just injured. Sam Laporta's playing well. Jameson Williams had a decent game today. Amon-Ra dropped a 4th down ball that he should have caught. This is the problem with Jared Goff. I love Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. If he's down in a game, this guy has deer in headlights. That's the problem. You don't think you have a chance when the Lions are down in a game. In a game where they're down by 2 possessions or 3 possessions and they don't have any control of the game. They don't have any control and they're not play actioning, right? Everything's a drop back and shotgun. That's not who Jared Goff is. And that's a problem. And that's where the Rams got Matthew Stafford. Because like, hey, even if our plan isn't working, like versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl when the Rams played them with Goff and it was 13-3, if our plan isn't working and they're stuffing the run, they're stuffing the outside zone, the stretch plays, and we can't run the play action, we need to go into shotgun passing and have a guy like Matthew Stafford leading the way. And that's where Jared Goff isn't just as good. And he's not going to be good at that. So that's the problem with the Lions. They need to control the script of the game, right? They need to be up or be a 1-possession game where they know like, hey, like our offense is working. Let's keep with this offense. We don't need to just pass the ball for 20 straight times. We can just run the ball, play action. Let's get some good plays with Sam Laporta. Let's get some good plays with Jameson Williams. Raymond didn't play today, I think, but those guys, let's get some of these guys in there. Tesla, like But the Lions, that's their problem. They're not the offense doesn't look good this year. I told you guys that. I put that in my video. I said Lions offense is overrated. Hey, they scored 52 points. What are you talking about? They're overrated. Do you watch the games? They're overrated. He gets pressured more. He's scrambling a little bit too much as compared to last year where he had a clean pocket always. They have no Taylor Decker right now at tackle. So you have to understand the Lions right now are decimated by injuries. They're not as good as last year. That's just the truth. Ben Johnson's a much better play caller than what they have right now. And that's just that's the truth. So stop hating. 6, Philadelphia Eagles. I know what you're going to say. They lost to the New York Giants. The New York Giants, I mean, they're a scary team. If they don't make mistakes offensively, they're a scary team. And you have to understand that. When you have a defense like them, and especially when you're down in a game script like the Eagles were or the Chargers were, it's literally hell for these quarterbacks with Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence. These are guys that are real players that are like all-star, all-pro players, or Pro Bowl players. Like these guys are legit, like first-round picks. So you can't fault the Eagles for losing that game, really. I know they should have won. I know that Jalen Hurts didn't play his best, right? And he threw up a bad pick. But 2 straight losses doesn't kill them. They're still the Super Bowl champions. They play the Vikings. If they lose to the Vikings at Vikings, then you maybe have to start to panic if you're an Eagles fan. And then I'm like, all right, maybe they're not as good as they say they are. But again, you have to put them here at number 6 because they're a good team. I mean, you know what they are. They're a RPO team, Saquon Barkley, but they need to blend it together. They need to find their identity. They need to run the ball and pass the ball efficiently, not run the ball efficiently and not pass. You need to do both efficiently, right? Like the Lions last year, like the Indianapolis Colts this year, like the Seattle Seahawks this year. Be a balanced team, an efficient team both ways, passing and rushing. And the Philadelphia Eagles right now can't find it. So they're number 6 right now. They play the Giants again soon. They play at Packers versus Lions. They have a really tough schedule coming up. I mean, this is going to be hell. This is going to be heavy waters, right? High tide for them. So number 5, Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts is a good team. They're a really good team. The problem is with the Indianapolis Colts is the one team they faced that are contenders. The one team they faced that are contenders, they lost to, right? And that's the Rams. And you could say Adonai Mitchell lost in that game, but they didn't look good. Their defense is not good. The Broncos should have won their game against them, right? They beat the Dolphins. Their offense, the Indianapolis Colts offense is legit. They beat the Dolphins. They lost to the Broncos. I mean, they should have lost to the Broncos. They beat the Broncos, beat the Titans like they should by 20. The Rams they lost to. They could have won that game. They beat the Raiders like they should. And Cardinals game was close today. And Cardinals, they're a decent team. Jacoby Brissett makes that team way better than Kyler Murray because he can actually see over the line and he doesn't freaking scamper. And the Colts, they beat the team that they're supposed to, and maybe they should have beaten the Rams, but they also should have lost the Broncos. So they should be 5-1 where they're supposed to be. Their defense isn't good. And that's the problem. Their defense is not good. So I have to put him here at number 5, right? That's just fair. I have to put him at 5. At number 4, I have the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are a legit team. They're a legit team. I know they lost to Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay right now is running hot. They're running hot. Ibuka was out of his mind. Sterling Shepard caught a touchdown in that game. But look what they did to the Jaguars. The almighty 4-1 Jaguars at the time. Look what they did. They beat their ass today, and they didn't even play well. You know, they didn't play well at all. Their secondary is out. Sam Darnold had 295 yards, and I didn't even think he played well today. I thought he missed a couple of guys. I thought Kenneth Walker, they couldn't get the run game going today. Only 34 rushing yards. Smith-Njigba is showing why he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Their defense was missing Witherspoon and Love and Tariq Woolen. Like, these are guys like that are Seattle Seahawks, like Legion of Boom 2.0 that they're missing, and the Jaguars couldn't take advantage of. But the Seahawks are winning games and competing in games without these star players on their team or these key players on their team. And that's how good they are. They had DeMarcus Lawrence come back. He had 2 sacks today. So you have to put MVP Sam Darnold into talks, and he's that good. He's that good. He's better than Brock Purdy. Like when he was backing up Brock Purdy, I'm like, why is he backing up Brock Purdy? He's better than Brock Purdy. This is so disrespectful to Sam Darnold. There's a reason why he was a top 3 pick in the NFL draft. I know what you're gonna say. He flamed out in the Jets, but everybody flames out in the Jets. I've been saying this. Sam Darnold's just that good. I'm thirsty. Number 3. I'm talking a lot today. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're balling out of control. They're balling. Baker Mayfield, 3rd and 14. Doesn't matter. 2 guys on you. Doesn't matter. He didn't even play well today, and they won that game. They did not play well. Their offense did not play well. They scored 30 points or whatever they scored, but they did not play well. And if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, you have to agree with me. Baker missed a couple guys, and they got away with broken coverage by the San Fran 49ers today, right? And that's just how good Baker Mayfield is, though. He cannot play well, and their defense has given up a ton of yards to the San Francisco 49ers, and they can still be ahead in games. And that's what you want. You want a guy that you can count on, like Baker Mayfield, if the run game's not going, or even if the run game was playing well today with Rashad White. If the run game's not going yet, Baker Mayfield was playing well. You have their defense not going yet, Baker Mayfield. You need a guy to count like that, and that's why he's at the top of MVP talks right now. That's how good Baker Mayfield is, right? So you have to put him. You have to put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3. They're a really good team. I know they lost to the Eagles, but the game script for the Eagles game, Tampa Bay was coming back. Baker threw a terrible pick, and yeah, I mean sometimes you lose games, but it depends if you're competitive in that game or not. And at the end of the game versus the Eagles, they were competitive. Threw a 70-yard bomb to Bucky Irving, to Egbuka. Like they were competitive in that game. They showed some holes in that Philadelphia Eagles defense. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at 3 right now. You just have to put them at 3. Number 2, Buffalo Bills. Again, they haven't played yet. They haven't played the Falcons yet. I'm assuming they're going to win because the Falcons are terrible. But the Buffalo Bills secondary is an actual issue. Their secondary is really bad. They get no pressure on the quarterback either. This is the problem with the Buffalo Bills, but they're a good team. You have Josh Allen, the best quarterback in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes tonight probably said, hey, okay, not by far. It's close. But I think Josh Allen by far is the best quarterback in the NFL. I just think he's that good. He has Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir he's throwing to. Who are these guys? I know who they are. Boise State guy, and I know who the other one is. Michigan State, Florida State guy. But who are they? They're nobodies. And he's making those guys look really good. And that's what you need in a quarterback. He's saying, hey, spend the money on the O-line. Spend the money on the D-line. Let me have shit receivers, and I'll make them look good. And that's how good Josh Allen is, right? And that's how good Josh Allen is. That's what he's doing. And you have to put him at number 2, and you have to respect that. You have to respect that. They're playing the Falcons. But even with the loss to the Patriots, I still think they're number 2, even though they're a bit overrated. But again, all these teams are close. You can switch 2, 3, 4, 5. You can switch all those teams. That's how close this NFL season is. There's not a lot of locks that you're like, oh, this team's by far the best team, like the Lions last year before injuries when Aiden Hutchinson was still healthy. There's a lot of teams now that you're like, this team can win the Super Bowl. There's like 6 or 7, especially in the NFC, right? Because the Green Bay Packers are the number 1 team. I know what you're going to say. How are they the number 1 team? They tied with the team that lost to Carolina this week. They're the number 1 team, man. They're the number 1 team. They're the best defensively, the best offensively, balanced wise, right? Everybody else is either or, right? The Rams, good offense, defense is shoddy, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defense is shoddy, good offense. The Bills, good offense, defense is shoddy, right? There's a lot of good teams in the NFL. The Packers are the best team in the NFL right now. I know what you're going to say. Yeah, they're 3-1-1. They lost to the Browns. It doesn't matter. You can have bad games. It depends if you're competitive in the games or not and why you lost. Did they win that game or did they lose that game, or did the Cleveland Browns win that game? And that's what you have to ask. And obviously the Packers lost that game, right? They did everything in their power to lose that game. They played the Bengals today. They dominated the Bengals. That game wasn't close. I know you're going to say it was 24-18. They had a chance. They did not have a chance. That game felt like a 30-point game when I was watching it. And you have to put the Packers at number 1. They're the best team right now. And everybody that shits on my power rankings are crazy because I have the best power rankings. Not even close. So again, Green Bay is at 1. You have to put him at 1. Micah Parsons playing well. All right. Jordan Love could be playing better. The thing about Jordan Love, he's not even playing that great. You see Jordan Love play better. Like, he shows where he can be a top 7 quarterback in the NFL. He shows that potential, and he's not even playing well right now. Imagine when he's playing well. So again, I would put them at number 1. They're the best team. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.